You want to do a sound check? Can you hear everyone good? Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Tiffany Davila. I'm the Public Affairs Officer for the Arizona Department of Forestry and Fire Management. Thank you for joining us today as we present the outlook for the 2024 wildland fire season. Speaking today will be Governor Katie Hobbs, followed by our Fire Management Officer, John Truitt, and then followed by our Division Chief for Prevention, Aaron Kasem. If you could please hold your questions until after we're done speaking. The governor's office will facilitate a question and answer session shortly after. And now I'm going to introduce Governor Katie Hobbs.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Next week is Southwest Wildfire Awareness Week, and this year's theme is Time for Action. Every year, we take this time to come together with our federal and tribal partners prior to the start of Arizona's busy fire season to educate and bring awareness to Arizonans and visitors about wildfire prevention and risk reduction. Today, the message is this: the time for action is now. Residents and visitors need to do their part to prevent wildfires. In Arizona, our wildfire season typically runs from April through early July. It is an unfortunate reality of this time of year, but the good news is that awareness can help us prepare and take precautions to ensure that we avoid making the situation worse. 9 times out of 10, wildfires are caused by people, so it's critical we are all doing our part to prevent them. There are steps you can take to make your home safer. We recommend clearing dead or dying vegetation from your yard, removing debris from rooftops and gutters, moving flammable materials like propane tanks and firewood away from your home, and in areas with greater wildfire risk, keeping your lawn watered and mowed. It's just as important to take precautions away from home as well. When enjoying the beauty of Arizona's outdoor spaces, it's critical that you never leave campfires unattended. All fires should be drowned with water and stirred until the fire is out and cool to the touch. And never burn debris on a windy day. In 2023, roadside fires accounted for 26% of Arizona's total fires. Make sure that your car and its tires are in good working order before getting out on the road. And secure your trailer chains. When dragged, they too can cause wildfires. And finally, target shooting and fireworks are never allowed on state trust land. Stay aware of fire restrictions that are commonly posted in recreational areas. We can all take steps to be proactive and to keep our families and communities safe from wildfires. Sign up for emergency alerts through your county's emergency management department. And understand the Ready, Set, Go process. Ready means to prepare in advance now. Sign up with your county's or tribe's text or voice emergency notification system. Set means having a go bag prepared with important items like prescriptions, money, documents, your ID, snacks, and water. And go means evacuate now. Always follow the advice of first responders and law enforcement. We are fortunate to have so many brave men and women on the front lines fighting wildfires when they inevitably do happen. I'm so grateful to the Department of Forestry and Fire Management for the work that you do to mitigate the wildfire season and keep Arizonans safe. But it's important that we continue to do our part so they can do theirs. I encourage all Arizonans to educate themselves on wildfire safety by visiting the fire prevention page on the Department of Forestry and Fire Management website. And with that, I'll hand it off to DFFM Fire Management Officer John Truitt.
All right, good afternoon. Thank you, Governor Hobbs. So this year, we're talking about a heavy vegetation growth and a fire potential of being higher than normal across parts of Arizona. Areas south of the Mogollon Rim, within the Tonto National Forest, and across the Sonoran landscape, down into the Catalinas and into Cochise County may see increased fire activity due to the amount of grass and brush in those areas. The potential exists for quick ignitions and rapid moving wildland fires within these areas of heavy fuels where wind and terrain can influence explosive fire behavior, making it challenging for firefighters to contain. As for the high country, fire behavior may be delayed just due to the existing snowpack and the later moisture that we're receiving this spring. To prepare for all this, collectively the state, local fire departments, wildland fire agencies, our tribal partners, and Arizona is basically your Arizona Fire Service combined. Along with the state, local emergency management, all law enforcement agencies, state, city, local governments, our stakeholders like SRP and APS, and other local utilities, our ranching community, and preparing to respond to the calls. We also need public to do their part. So I want to turn it over to Eric Sem, our State Prevention Officer.
One second. Tiffany or Annalie, can you look at this?
Shucks. I think we're good. Can y'all hear me okay? What was that? My name is Aaron. I'm the State Prevention Officer for Arizona Department of Forestry and Fire Management. We're good? CASEM, C-A-S-E-M. So to echo some of the comments from Governor Hobbs, she's exactly right. The first day of any firefight starts with the actions and the efforts that we do today. And everything that the governor said was absolutely correct. Next week is Wildfire Awareness Week, and every day is very, very unique as it talks to a specific area of mitigation or treatment or preparedness that we ask the public to prepare for. The first, start with your home and property. Look for those vulnerable areas where seasonal maintenance can come into play as far as creating defensible space. And that's the big thing with creating with home and property, is creating that defensible space 100 feet. Again, start with the low-hanging fruit. Making sure that your lawn is irrigated, make sure that you're trimming up your bushes and your trees, and also removing combustibles. And that could be excess building material, that could be liquids from doing vehicle maintenance, etc. All of those things that we call receptive fuel beds, where embers can land and ignite a home. So again, start with the home and work your way out from there. Also prepare your essentials, like the governor had mentioned. Having your personal hygiene items, charging cables, batteries, little things that we often forget that we need, that in time of crisis, we don't want to be scrambling for. Again, important documents, water, food, up to 72 hours. We want to make sure that you're prepared for the long haul. Paying attention is a big thing too. Looking at your conditions. If we start entering that critical time period for a wildland fire where you're going to have high temperatures with low relative humidity, that's when we're going to see some pretty extreme fire conditions. Understanding that if you're a community or a homeowner that's living next to undeveloped lands, then this is for you. Understand where you live and have a plan and practice that plan. Do not wait to the day that you see smoke in the air to gather those things and prepare, because it's not going to be the easiest transition for you to leave. Gather those things beforehand, come up with a plan, and also have a rallying point away from the situation that you can gather your family members, again, in a safe area away from the incident. When you're recreating, follow the restriction plan. Know before you go. Acquire that information from the agency's websites. Oftentimes that information is going to be posted as far as what you are able to do or not to do. It's very important that you understand what those restrictions are so we don't end up with a conflagration. We couldn't do this work without our agency cooperators, whether it's the feds, Forest Service, Bureau of Land Management, Park Service, Bureau of Indian Affairs. These are all huge cooperators and contributors to the prevention efforts statewide. Additionally, we have some pretty strong local partnerships with our fire departments. Scottsdale, Prescott, Payson, Pinetop, and Oracle have very, very strong fire-wise communities. I suggest you reaching out to those fire departments who are another level of resources for the communities to take hold of. Again, the first day of any firefight starts with the actions that our community members take today. Do not wait until you see smoke in the air to act. The time to act is now. Thank you.
Okay, I know you all have a lot of questions. Any fire questions first? Yes.
Okay, so if the snow level is relatively high right now, does this mean that Prescott and Prescott Valley, Chino Valley area is higher risk during the summer?
Yeah, they're a little bit lower elevation.
Can you go to the next one, sir? Say your first and last name for me then.
John Truitt. Yeah, due to the elevation change, there will be significant changes in how the lower elevations dry out and get in fire season quicker than the higher elevations will.
Other fire questions? Yep.
I understand the Department of Forestry Fire Management is Governor Hobbs'
So my executive budget proposal continues support of fire suppression and mitigation efforts as well as forest restoration. It's really important that we have that funding to make sure these guys all stay safe. So we're going to fight for that in our budget. Right now we haven't even, there's no way of knowing what the legislators are going to propose.
Any other fire questions? All right, unrelated.
So, Governor, spend a little time running on my way here, looking at your detailed message. Seems like you sort of bought the argument from the league that they just, that this would be overreach, but somehow willing to look at ADUs and everything else. I mean, we've been
This
with this thing for years.
This is not the league's argument. This bill is at the end of the day just too expansive. It is an unprecedented amount of preemption on our cities with no proven results at all. We have no idea that this will actually solve the problem of affordable housing. And I am confident that there are several bills moving through that do address these issues. And I encourage our allies on affordable housing and every mayor and city councilor and other city official who was opposed to this bill to come to the table and find a workable negotiated solution that addresses the problem.
We got a statement already from Ms. Ortiz. Mm-hmm. Giving her a heads up. She said basically this is once again the state kicking the can down the road. Her words. Why isn't this kicking the can down the road?
There are several other pieces of legislation moving, and I am very optimistic that we can come to a negotiated agreement and move this issue forward. There is a bill addressing accessory dwelling units. There's a bill addressing missing middle housing. There's several bills addressing regulations and approval processes.
All right, hold on. Yeah.
I think the league said 22 cities already allow ADUs, so how big of an impact feel like that makes?
There are several bills, not just that one.
All right, Jeremy.
Yeah, no, I understand that question. And, from day one, what I said is I want to see a negotiated solution on my desk. And this bill is not that. And I will continue to call. And if I wasn't clear before, let me be clear. Cities need to come to the table on these additional bills that are moving forward. You need to be at the table. And I imagine that our allies on affordable housing are also going to be working on these additional bills. I want to see everyone at the table.
All right, hold on. Jeremy.
I think I've made clear what I want to see. I need to see something that strikes the right balance, and the stakeholders in this process, the cities, the affordable housing advocates, which are not mutually exclusive, by the way. Cities are feeling the pinch of affordable housing issues as well. That they can come to the best solution together. I don't necessarily think that it needs my involvement. They're the ones most closely involved in this issue.
All right, right there.
Yeah, so do you agree with the league's argument proponent's argument that the league was not very cooperative in this process? When you just said cities should come to the table, so were they?
I will reiterate that I want to see cities at the table on the additional legislation that's moving forward.
And I have one on the border, if you don't mind me asking. So we're about a couple weeks away from potentially seeing street releases federally. What's the status update on a potential backup plan? And do you have any plans, at least, you deploy the National Guard, we're seeing that kind of as assisting in a sense. Is there any plan for the state to actually stop the flow for people, like actually coming in at this point?
We don't have any authority to do that. But we are continuing to work, engaging with all of the stakeholders and working on a backup plan. The bottom line is we need these federal funds, and we have state funds, and we're coming close to exhausting those. Yes.
Any others?
I mailed it last week. Yes.
Great follow-up. All right, any others? I get it.
Thank you.